proclamations. Whereas Todd Rackley has been a proud business owner and dedicated member of the Muskogee community for over 20 years, known for his integrity, generosity, and unwavering commitment to giving back. And whereas Mr. Rackley has long supported local traditions and community events, including the Azalea Chili and Barbecue Cook-Off and the Wish Flavors of Oklahoma, helping to showcase the very best of Muskogee's hospitality and hometown pride. And whereas Mr. Rackley has faithfully donated breakfast to the Muskogee Rougher and Hilldale Hornet football teams, ensuring that our young athletes feel supported and valued by their community. And whereas Mr. Rackley has consistently delivered kindness and care through his weekly donations of donuts to the Wish Shelter, Gospel Rescue Mission, and area nursing homes, quietly serving those who serve others. And whereas Mr. Rackley's love for Muskogee has been evident in every act of service, every contribution, and every smile he shared, embodying the true heart and spirit of an Okie from Muskogee. Now, therefore, I, Patrick Hale, Mayor of the City of Muskogee, proclaim October 27th, 2025 as Todd Rackley Day. Rest in peace, Mr. Rackley.
We're going to take a picture.
Picture anybody?
We're going to have his family's all here, Patrick.
Right here.
Right. His family.
Would you like to come up? Yeah. We'll let the kids hold the proclamation. For somebody. We got everybody in?
Mayor, do you want to get in a little bit closer?
Thank you. Okay, another proclamation. Whereas since 1915, Lake Area United Way has worked to improve the quality of life for Muskogee residents by uniting individuals, businesses, and organizations in service to others. And whereas through its focus on community resiliency, youth opportunities, healthy communities, and financial stability, Lake Area United Way continues to strengthen the foundation of our city. And whereas the annual campaign has reinvested over $7.4 million directly back into Muskogee and surrounding areas, funding vital programs that uplift and empower our neighbors. And whereas these continued efforts reflect a deep commitment to collaboration, empathy, and unity, values that embody the very heart of the Muskogee community. And whereas the month of November presents an opportunity for all citizens to come together in solidarity, giving, and service through the United in November campaign, supporting the shared mission to uplift, empower, and strengthen our neighbors. Now, therefore, I, Patrick Hale, Mayor of the City of Muskogee, proclaim the month of November 2025 as United in November month. You don't have any way to say cheese. Thank you. Welcome to tonight's Muskogee Municipal Authority meeting, October 27th, 2025. First, I'd like to do the invocation. Maybe rise. Dear Lord, thank you for the blessings you bestow on our community. Thank you for the strength and fortitude you provide this council, and for your guidance and support as we try to do our very best to do what's right for the citizens of Muskogee. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Okay, attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next will be Oklahoma. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patrick Kale.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Tracy Hoos.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
Melody Cranford.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Here.
Tom Martindale.
Here.
Mike Brawley.
Here.
Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of MMA minutes of September 22nd, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Move for approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford. Yes. Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kale.
Yes. Item passes. Number 2, please.
Consider approval of MMA claims for all city departments for the month ending September 30, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bodenhammer.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. The claims are attached for the MMA for the months of ending September 30th, 2025, if anyone has any questions.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kale.
Yes. Item passes. Number 3, please.
Consider approval to allow for a 15-day extension of the bid opening process regarding the Muskogee wastewater treatment plant bid opening to comply with state purchasing regulations or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago in one of the committee meetings, we do need to have this 15-day extension to make sure that we comply with the state purchasing regulations. Do recommend approval, and we'll answer any questions.
So I take it this is just to tidy up and make sure that we've done the process correctly.
Yes, the way our timing is right now, it looks like we could award this bid at the November 24th meeting, and if we do, then it'll be the next day before we can actually do an award. This will keep us in our 45-day window.
Thank you.
Is this a new bid or is this that current bid that,
This is the current, but the current bid is not on the agenda tonight.
okay,
This is in case we do award it on the 24th.
okay.
This is just to extend the time limit,
As we talked about last
as we
meeting.
talked about in the committee meeting.
Move for approval.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford. Yes. Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kale.
Yes. Item passes. Number 4, please.
Consider approval to authorize the chairman of the Muskogee Municipal Authority to execute the professional services agreement with the Municipal Finance Services Incorporated and the Muskogee Municipal Authority, a public trust with the City of Muskogee as beneficiary, for the purpose of serving as the city's independent registered municipal advisor and providing services related thereto, related to the promissory note and loan with the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, we have several items on the agenda tonight to address the bid price and the sewer plant project and the funding that we already have in place. Mr. Rigney has been so kind as to put a PowerPoint together to refresh us on what the sewer plant is, what the rebuild is being, the scope of the rebuild, I guess is a better way to put that, and how we got to being in a consent order and why we need to do the actions we need to take tonight. So I'm going to let him run through his PowerPoint, and then I'll try to assist him with questions.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, thank you. The next several items pertain to the loan that we had. We went out for bid. We did receive one bid that was over budget, and that will be explained a little bit further as we get into this. But just a brief history on the sewer plant. We started collecting sewage in 1904. In 1956, we built a treatment plant. In the 70s, that treatment plant was upgraded. And then in the 90s, that plant was upgraded to kind of what you see today. We've had a couple of projects since then, but in the 90s is whenever it really got to be what you see when you go out there to it now. So why do we need to build a new plant? In 2019, we experienced significant flooding out there at the water plant. A lot of it was under 6 feet of water at least. Then here's the area of the flooded, that gray square is what was flooded in the 2019 flood. We also had some damage from a freeze that happened in the winter of 22-23 that caused some broken water lines. That was a major repair that had to take place. So a little bit of history and continuing on to how we came to find ourselves in the position of needing to build a new plant. One, that plant is getting very antiquated, but two, every year ODEQ comes and does a compliance evaluation inspection. We, at that time, had just gone through that flood. A lot of the inner workings of the plant were significantly damaged by that flood. ODEQ said this is going to need to be rebuilt to a degree that requires an engineering report or substantial overhaul of the plant. At that time, we opted for the rebuild of the plant since the age of it and the damage from the flood. So in March of 21, that CEI inspection took place. The consent order was given in November of 21. We went back and forth with ODEQ trying to resolve that, negotiate the terms of that. All the way until September of 23, we submitted an engineering report with a newly proposed timeline and a proposed budget for the building of a new plant. So, wow, this is a lot smaller than it was on my computer. Bond counsel, the engineer at the time, which was Holloway, Updike, and Bellin, and former city management, met to discuss the loan value necessary on the ODEQ report. At that time, all of those values were appropriate in the fall of 23. So after that, the loan was taken out for approximately $80 million to build the plant, with $6.6 million of that for engineering. Engineering was selected using a request for qualifications process. Olson Engineering and Holloway, Updike, and Bellin partnered on this project. The design of the plant began in spring of 24. Tariffs on foreign goods were implemented post that design starting. Olson and Hub met to discuss the potential of being moderately over budget. At that time, we did decide to cut some stuff out, downgrade some equipment to get it back within our budget. We felt like we were within about $3 million of the proposed budget, given that we had some ad alternates and things taken out. That took place in July of 25, so not very long ago. Plans are complete and went out to bid late summer of 25. We began to hear about a sharp rise in construction costs being anticipated. Our engineers reached out to potential bidders. We still felt like we were in decent shape at that time. During the bidding process, several bidders did attend the pre-bid. There was about 6 bidders at the pre-bid. After the pre-bid conference, several potential bidders decided that they could not do this project for a number of reasons. So a couple of things about why only one bidder. During the bidding process, there were several companies that dropped out and a couple of large companies that we really anticipated bids from. So as the ARPA projects rolled out, they have a deadline of 2026. So there's a lot of work going into finishing up these ARPA projects, and there's only a finite amount of contractors that can do this type of work, and only a finite amount of manufacturers that can make this type of equipment. So with all those ARPA projects going, there is a substantial backlog for a lot of contractors in this area and a lot of equipment manufacturers across the country. So that does drive up the price. The demand of the contractors and the suppliers goes up, but they're not making any new contractors. There's still the same number that there was. So we have a couple of options of what we can do later tonight, and these will be discussed with you. So option one is we can reject the bid and go back through the process. That doesn't feel like a favorable option to us in this situation because we have one bidder who we did anticipate being very competitive. That one bidder is a local bidder. They use local labor. They're the only one of the ones that came to pre-bid that has that local labor aspect. They also have the ability to do this project right now, the manpower that it takes, and the free, I'm trying to find the word for it, but the availability just to do this project. And a lot of those other contractors did not, and that led to them dropping out. So if we were to rebid this, we may not get any more bids. We would still have just one, and it would likely be higher than it is currently. So option two would be approve Crossland's bid, and by the way, I just want to reiterate, this is not on the agenda to approve tonight. Option number two would be approve Crossland's bid and obtain additional loan monies. This is believed to be our best option. Based on the initial estimates, we would expect our annual debt service to increase by $1.5 million over our 3-year $7.75 increase to base sewer rates is not enough to cover that initial debt. It will likely require an additional amount per service per month, which will be discussed in subsequent agenda items. I do want to make sure that we understand, and our finance team will talk more about this, those rate increases potentially, if that was to be the route that goes, would not necessarily start today. They would be years out into the future after the previous rate structure takes full effect. We did meet with our bond counsel and financial advisor last week. If we act immediately, such as a decision at tonight's meeting, we can still possibly obtain additional funding from the OWRB, which is the Water Resources Board, which meets November 18th. This would require staff to provide updated financials and for the auditor to fast track our 24 audit. So I do want to say right now we are still on pace with our ODEQ proposed timeline. But if we were to go back out for rebid, that could put this timeline in a little bit of jeopardy, and there are fines associated with not being up and running by our compliance date in 2029. So with that being said, I'd be happy to answer questions, but I think questions should probably wait until we go through a few more of these agenda items and let our finance team do some discussions. We do have our engineer here with us as well on top of our finance team, so as we progress through this, maybe towards the end of the summary of agenda items, we can answer some questions.
So I want to go over a couple things that Avery mentioned. Sean from Olson Engineering is here, who is our engineer that helped put this project together. Crossland representatives that have already bid this project are here as well, as Nate Ellis and Alan Brooks, our bond counsel, which I know council is very familiar with. I want to go back over and reiterate that we are under a consent order to build this sewer plant. So we have got to build a sewer plant. We have no choice. There'll be some healthy fines if we don't. We're on a timeline that was put together by our engineering firm, our staff, and ODEQ together that said how we would proceed with this project, and we got to stay on that timeline. Avery did allude to the fact.
Just real quick, am I correct in saying that this was the most antiquated sewer plant in Oklahoma?
You're right. Well, it had made itself to be that. It was the only one of its kind, which is a trickling filter style plant, which we can't hardly get fixed now. So it is.
But DEQ says no.
They say no, and by the way, we're band-aiding that plant together every day. Scott Pletcher, our sewer plant superintendent's in the back, and I'm sure he can attest to that. Again, we're under this consent order. If we do not get this going by April 1st of 2029, there will be a $7,000 a day fine. It could be even healthier than that if we decide to jump off of the original timeline and decide we don't want to pursue a new sewer plant. That would be a really bad thing for us with ODEQ. Avery did mention the fact that ARPA funds have caused a lot of these problems. I do want to reiterate that we did sit down with the engineering firm back before we started looking for the funds or the loan to go forward with this. In June of 2023, that's when it was decided it was right at $77+ million that we would need. That's where we came up with that number that was given to Alan and Nate to go after. We did discuss that in detail, and we fully thought that that would fund it. And of course, here it is a year and a half years later, and it is highly inflated, and Sean is here to help explain why that happened as well. But in saying all that, we are looking to try and cut as much as we can out of these plans to do some valued engineering and do some cuts on the bid price if possible. But I do need to point out that these are ODEQ approved plans. So ODEQ approved everything that was in our plan set, and if we start removing things, we need to make sure that they're on line with it. Plus, we don't want to build a plant that's not up to standard either. So this has got to go for many years in the future, and we do have a lot of things coming in the future to Muskogee area that's going to require this plant to be modern and up to date. In saying all that, I'm going to introduce Nate or Alan, and I think Alan's actually the one that's going to get up and discuss next some of the financing aspects that we're facing.
Well, Nate can come with me. We'll both talk. My name is Alan Brooks. I'm with the Public Finance Law Group. My partner, Nate Ellis. Your financial advisor was on his way over for the meeting and apparently hit a patch of gravel and is in the hospital right now here in Muskogee. He rolled his car. I told him that was about it. He just called a minute ago, and I said that's about as good an excuse as you can come up with for missing a meeting. But apparently he's fine, but they're checking him out. So we will play financial advisor at some level if we have to. This is all we do, so we're in front of a lot of cities around the state, and unfortunately, you all are in good company because just about every project that's been bid in the last couple of years, unfortunately, has come in over budget. It is a difficult environment, I think, for the engineers to estimate project costs. They keep increasing the cost, but the increases seem to continue to kind of outpace everybody. But this is not an unusual situation that we're in. I think we've covered a lot. The resolution you have in front of you authorizes not to exceed $37,170,000 in additional debt. We would anticipate we need about $33,700,000 to go into the project fund. This assumes that your engineering staff and your outside consulting engineers can't cut some more. Do you need to step closer?
I need to jump in. So we're jumping on different agenda items, so I feel like all of those agenda items should be read before we.
Oh, great.
So if we can make a motion to hold number 4 and number 5 and table those to after number 6, and then we can jump to number 6 if we can have the city clerk read that agenda item. I feel like we're jumping way ahead.
So moved.
So we've already, so we're in the middle of 4,
We're going to
They're
table
actually
it.
into 6.
but wasn't Avery presenting 4?
It goes with all of them.
It goes with them, but we're now actually discussing the resolution, so we have to jump down to the resolution and read that agenda item to comply with the Open Meetings Act.
Yeah.
And so we have a motion on the
So
table.
moved.
I have a motion. I don't have a
second.
second.
I'm sorry, can you explain what the motion is and what are we doing?
Yes, sir. So we're already talking about agenda item number 6, which has not been read yet.
Okay.
And pursuant to the Oklahoma Meetings Act, we need to go ahead and table 4 and 5
So
and
this-
move those to the end of the agenda, and then read agenda item number 6 on the record.
So this vote is to table 4 and 5?
Yes.
Yes, sir,
That's
until
what I was-
after number 6, and move on to number 6, which Tammy will have to read.
Thank you.
So why don't we just vote to authorize the chairman to do that and then move down and just go through them and get to 6 instead of jumping ahead to 6? I don't know. It seemed like logical, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm just a city councilman.
They're not talking about agenda items 4 and 5, they're talking about agenda item 6.
Okay, because I thought Avery was talking about Agenda 4.
Actually, they're all included.
Yeah, they're all included, but everything that they're talking about is summarized in the resolution, which is agenda item number 6. So just to keep us on track with the Open Meetings Act.
Okay, so we'll go to 6 and come back and hit 4 and 5.
Yes, sir.
Bless our hearts. We're so pretty here.
Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Here.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
No,
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout. Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kale.
Yes. Item number 6, please.
Consider approval of resolution number 3061, a resolution of the Muskogee Municipal Authority authorizing a loan from the Oklahoma Water Resources Board in the total aggregate principal amount not to exceed $37,170,000, approving the issuance of a promissory note in the total aggregate principal amount not to exceed $37,170,000, secured by a pledge of revenues and authorizing its execution, designating a local trustee, approving and authorizing the execution of a trust agreement, approving and authorizing the execution of a loan agreement, approving and authorizing the execution of a security agreement, ratifying and confirming a lease agreement and operation and maintenance contract as amended pertaining to the leasing of the City of Muskogee water and sanitary sewer systems to the borrower, ratifying and confirming a sales tax agreement pertaining to certain sales tax revenue as security for the note, approving and authorizing a note purchase agreement, approving various covenants, approving and authorizing application to the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, approving and authorizing professional service agreements, approving and authorizing payment of fees and expenses, and containing other provisions relating thereto, or take other necessary action. Thank you, Nate.
You're welcome. Good job.
Okay. I'm gonna back up just a minute, okay? We've talked about the project, the need for the project, the fact you're under consent order to do the project, the fact that bids have been received. Staff is indicating they don't think that any money, we don't think we can rebid it and come back with a lower price, perhaps a higher price. You all accepted bids, I think it was Tuesday of last week. I said received, accepted bids. We were having conversations Tuesday afternoon. I think it was Wednesday morning or Thursday morning of last week. I went over to meet with the Oklahoma Water Resources Board. Why did I do that? You funded the first $77,450,000 through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board. We closed that transaction again back in February of 2024. Until about the time we got bids, we thought that was going to be enough money. Okay, turned out it wasn't, all right? The Oklahoma Water Resources Board has a program referred to as the Financial Assistance Program. And what they do is they get communities to commit, we need this much money, a fixed dollar amount, and the Water Resources Board aggregates those needs, and they go out and do a bond issue based on their AAA credit rating. They can borrow cheaper than anybody else can. They borrow that money, then they turn around and loan you that money at the rate they borrowed at plus 20 basis points or 0.2%. That's the program you used when we did the financing in 2024. The Oklahoma Water Resources Board has another one that is going to close this year. That's purely by accident that you all happen to come in and be in a situation where you need more money right when they are getting ready to do a financing. There are 16 other communities with 17 with them.
Yeah, including Muskogee would be 17.
It's going to be a very large financing, and this would be a good opportunity to borrow money. It makes less sense than you asking the water board to go out just for you and do a bond issue and loan you funds, okay? Unfortunately, you've missed the water board's timeline to be part of this transaction. That was the subject of the meeting last week. We met with the water board and said, here's our situation. You've already loaned the money for the plant. It came in over budget. We need some more money. Can you squeeze us in at the last minute? They basically said, if you can do two things. One, if you can get us your financials, okay, your audit in kind of draft form, not with the audit letter with it, but the numbers as prepared by your financial people. If you can get us that, and if you can get us a loan application by today, we will consider your loan if you all decide to move forward with this evening. Your financial advisor went ahead and has worked through the weekend, got the application submitted today. Your financial folks have gotten the financials put together. That's been submitted to the water board, so we've checked that box. No obligation to move forward. But it was our only possibility of having this window open is to get that done. So that has been done. We can be part of this next program that the water board's going to finance, which again would close in December, which would work in this situation. What you have in front of you is the resolution that authorizes the financing. Again, it's not to exceed $37,170,000. We will ultimately close on the amount of money that we contemplate, one, that will be less than that. We anticipate right now that we need about $33,700,000 going into this construction account. If your engineers are able to find some items that can come out or they can reduce the cost, as long as we pull those out before we do the financing, we can reduce the size of the financing. We don't want to borrow more money than we need, okay? But we know, unless we get those deducts or alternates taken out, that this is what it's going to cost. So this resolution, beyond that, authorizes the execution of the documents. The transaction is going to be secured by the same water, sewer, and sales tax revenue that your other debt's been secured by. So this resolution basically authorizes, one, the application to the water board, and two, the execution of all the documents associated with the transaction. So I will pause, and please feel free to ask us any questions that you have.
How often does this Water Resource Board meet, and, what if we didn't take the action tonight? When will be the next time, or is there a next time that we will be able to come before this Water Resource Board?
You would have to approve this tonight if you were part of the next transaction, okay? The one that's coming in December. There is not a schedule when the Water Board does these FAP bond issues. It's a function of when they have enough borrower interest that they can do a financing. I mean, at this financing amount, you could go out and justify, we've done smaller FAP bond issues, and we're talking about here, the problem is that it's about a 90-day process, so your bids aren't going to still be good unless you take advantage of this opportunity.
Okay. So,
Yes.
Effectively, you'd have to rebid the project, would be our concern.
So we're looking at about a 45 to 46% increase over what we thought was going to budget. Is that about right? Being $37 million, a top of 80. It's not 50%, so somewhere around the 40s.
That's in the ballpark.
Ballpark. So 37%. So you understand my heartburn with this right now.
Absolutely.
And if we kind of had an idea that in 2023 and then over the last 2 years that everybody's bid process was kind of off a little bit, why didn't we kind of start looking at kind of where we were going to be on this? Why did we wait till the 12th hour to start the 24th hour of the day to try to figure out that this was going to happen to us? I mean, you said over the last 2 years, over the last cities, that there's been some issues with it costing more than what we thought it was. We thought it was going to be 80, now it's 120, 110. I mean, I'm just kind of figuring out, how do we get off 36%? I mean, I know that they're saying tariffs. Is tariffs really 36% of what we thought it was? Is there any line items that we can look at and kind of tell us how that's happening?
This is when your engineer gets to talk.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
Finances and energy, we're going to be good.
So no, tariffs do not equal 30% of the entire project costs,
Okay.
but they are 25% of several of the equipment components that we have to have for this. They are not in effect. They keep going back and forth. They have done that since January. But none of the vendors are going to carry that risk of, is it actually going to happen or not? So I'm sure those costs are in there. Like Avery said, it is a very competitive market right now. We did have 6 bidders come out, and we talked to all 6 of them. We invited more than that out, and we were lucky to get the 6. We honestly thought we'd have 3 numbers come in. One of them dropped out the next day, and then the second one that I assumed was going to bid, they let us know the day before question cutoff that they were no longer interested. They had enough on their plate. They weren't going to chase this. So.
Did you say one of them took the Tish Ringo job? Is that, or did you tell me that? Did that come up on the phone? Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of them out there that are they're buried in work. Now, with cost, yes, inflation has been astronomical over the last 3 years. I mean, look at your grocery bill that you pay for yourself. Construction industry is no different.
Sean, would you touch on the concrete prices? I feel like that was very significant.
Yes, so concrete keeps going up. It will continue to go up until we find a replacement for concrete, and we're probably not going to do that because we build everything out of it. So that price, 3-something? Yeah, $370 a cubic yard. That is the highest we have ever seen concrete prices for anything, and this whole job is concrete. So there are some admixtures in there. We are looking at to drop some cost out of it already. We've already talked. I think we can get $1 million knocked out. But the numbers that we're talking about is not 30. We're talking a few $1 million.
So let me ask this, can I ask a question? I know that we're talking about putting this out for rebid, right, if that's a possibility. The consent order date.
Mm-hmm.
If we rebid, would we meet that consent order date? Because I think that is something that needs to be stated.
Yes.
Right? So
We will not.
We will not.
The first consent order date is bids by December 1st.
Right.
And we've been running a couple months ahead of that this whole time. We'd like to keep that momentum.
Okay.
So if we rebid, which we would go to the November meeting, I'm assuming, to reject this.
Push us out.
Yes, to try and get it back out on the street to advertise by December 1.
And then Councilor Cranford, the way the market is right now, we could possibly get a contractor that could bid it, that could not start right then.
Right.
And it could be put off. So fortunately, this contractor can start right now. That's one of the things we looked at.
You know, all 5 of you up there, had been mentioned that surely you've heard this, rumblings of this and this and that. I'm quite sure that all of you, over the last 2 years, and particularly this last year, have kind of been nervous about where this might go. You can't know for sure, but you've been nervous just from seeing things. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't say, hey, we're going up 30%, because you don't know that you are. But you can be nervous from what you've seen out in the field. But until you get bids, you don't know. So I know this has been coming on, and I suspect, particularly these 2 guys, have been nervous Nancy's for quite a while. But you don't know till you know.
Yep. And they have been, so.
And I think everybody up there.
And we all have, and like Avery said, we sat down over the summer because we knew we were above, and so we did take stuff out.
And to the fellas in the back, apparently, this Muskogee issue is not unique. Apparently. I'm talking to Nate.
Yeah, we've seen communities all across the state. I mean, it's just, as I say, it's hard to project how much inflation you need to build in over the course of a year. I mean, you can take a stab at it, but we've all been surprised by how much the number is, and then throw in the impacts of tariffs that are as uncertain as about anything as you've ever seen out there in the market.
And when did we, the engineer, when did we first come up with numbers? What year?
The original was in 22, 23? 23 was the first number, and since then, we have always tried to squeeze this project into that number.
But that number was probably a fairly good number until, wrong or right, Trump raised all the tariffs, which is a combined 25%. Some of them are 150, but, so in fairness to us, just the 25% in tariffs alone is like you say, 30% of the project. I just wanted to understand the whole picture. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So my next part of my question is going to be paying this lovely little thing off. Where are we going to look for the money to pay this loan off? Are we going to ask our water rates to go up, our sewer rates to go up? Are we going to ask for our foundations to help pay for it? How are we going to do that? Because I really am not in favor of jacking our prices up any higher than we've already have to our community. I think, if you look at it, we got a medical foundation, sorry, Derek, and we've got a Muskogee Foundation. If you add them together, they're almost $200 million. I think they should give us a little bit, if they give us a little bit from both, we could take care of this and not ask our citizens to step up and foot the bill for this. I know that's not a popular deal, but I think that's the avenue that we need to take. And if they don't like it, lump it, they need to give us some money. Because it doesn't need to be on our foundation, our population.
So before you answer that question, you will probably be able to answer both of these questions at the same time. If we don't receive the loan, then what would our possibilities be? Because, you're applying.
So if you did not approve the loan tonight,
Okay.
then, from a financing standpoint,
Yes.
this is going to be your best option as far as financing. You could potentially look at some sort of a bank financing or bond issue financing, but you're going to be paying higher interest rates. It's the total payment on the same amount borrowed is going to be more. So this is the most efficient, cost-affordable financing for you. If you choose not to, then you're pretty much in the situation from a timeline. You're not going to be able to accept the bid. You're going to have to put it out to rebid. You might get the same cost back. You might get a higher cost.
If I understand what Councilor Cranford, part of what she was saying, I think, was what if we don't get the money?
Yeah.
What if they don't give us the money?
If the water board doesn't?
Yeah.
The water board will give you the money.
Okay, well, that answers her question.
Assuming you all vote to approve this tonight.
Is there a penalty if we get, we basically don't have a choice, we have to do this. We have to, we're forced to do this. If we get this loan and then say that one of those foundations, if we go to them, if we pay part of the loan, there's not a penalty, is there?
Well, there is, and you can't prepay the loan, but I will say this is the purposes for which the water board loans money is very broad. It's basically for water, wastewater, and drainage projects. The loan can't be prepaid for 7 years, okay, generally, all right? If you ended up, if the foundation, as an example, said, we're going to give you $10 million, you'd have an extra $10 million. Well, one, if they told you immediately, okay, in the next 2 weeks, we would borrow that much less. If they couldn't tell you that, we'd move forward to the financing, and under that scenario, you'd have $10 million of extra funds. You could take those extra funds and use those for other water, wastewater, and/or drainage projects, which I'm absolutely positive you have projects that you can use that money on. So again, with the water board's consent, we could take some of the money that was going to go to the wastewater plant and use it for other authorized purposes.
But not to prepay the loans.
But not to prepay the loan.
My next question, probably, I hope my last one, but I have lots of notes here. if we don't do this and then we are fined because we missed that consent order date, and you said like $7,000 per day, going back out for a rebid process and going through this whole thing, what is the estimated time frame of that? Because we would be charged $7,000 per day.
So let me clear that up.
Clear that up,
Councilor
okay.
Cranford, the $7,000 a day is if the sewer plant isn't online and
Right.
operating in April of '29.
Right, but if
So,
we're
but if
going
we
back,
change paths and we're not trying to, it looks like we're not trying to get this done,
Yes.
ODEQ can start putting fines on us anytime
okay,
for not following through with procedure. And they talked as much as $40,000 to $50,000 a day when we were talking about what if we decide we just don't want to build a plant.
okay,
So it can get very healthy.
okay.
So,
I'm gonna,
Did you have something?
go ahead, Jim.
just gonna kind of go back to Dan's question. With our sewer rates, if we put that on the citizens, they're already scheduled to go up another $7 and change next year. What are we looking at? Will that increase for next year, or will that continue to go up X amount of dollars year after year consistently? Instead of getting to, after next year, it was supposed to bottom out and no more rate increases.
Kind of the short answer to the question is, this loan, once the debt service comes fully on, would be about another 1.9 million per year in additional debt service beyond what you already have. If you kind of divide that out among all the sewer accounts you have, that works out to be about $4 per month per account. So that's kind of, you know, if you have to do a rate increase and you have to do a rate increase to generate a full $1.9 million, it's about $4 a month. I mean, there's obviously some options you could talk about if there's supplemental funding or if the size of the loan can come down, that can impact that, but that's probably the top end. From the water board's perspective, you meet their debt coverage tests already, including this loan contemplated. So they're not requiring you to raise rates. You don't need to, I mean, like last time when we were looking at this, we had to look at the rate increase that needed to be put in place in order to support the loan long-term. There's no requirement that you put a rate increase now. You could make decisions as council whether you wanted to raise all of it, raise some of it, and absorb some of it within your budget. You have some options there, but the water board's not requiring you to put a rate increase in order to be able to approve this loan. So it's not on the agenda to consider tonight. Quite frankly, probably need to spend some time evaluating that at the city level with your financial advisor, kind of talking through what the best options are there, but that's a decision you can make down the road. And you would potentially have the ability, wouldn't have to, if you chose to increase it further, you wouldn't necessarily have to put that in place right away either. That could maybe be a subsequent year after, maybe in 2027 or something like that. So you have some options there, and you've got some time to really think about that decision before you make it.
But what we don't have any time left for is this.
Correct.
This is, like Shirley said, this is tonight. Okay.
So my understanding is, so we're asking for approval, is that committing us if we do this? Okay, because you kept saying approval, so so approval is a commitment.
It's a commitment in the sense we're going to move forward with the water board.
Okay.
At this dollar amount, unless in the next couple of weeks we find that you can cut some more out of the project.
Right.
Or you got some money from the foundation as an example. And we up to the point the water board goes out and sells their bonds, once they've sold their bonds, you're committed to take what you agreed to. This is the highest amount it would be. If your engineers can come back and if they can cut $1 million out, we borrow $1 million less. But once they've sold the bonds, then we're.
How much time is there between now and then that we approached those foundations before we?
Well, I think the foundations would really have a very, very low interest rate loan to pay back than to pay a lump sum. I mean, that's what they've always done in the past, is they just taken over the debt service. But how much, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. How much time we have? We got 2 weeks, basically, before November 17th.
I think the water board, for planning purposes, when their underwriter starts to go out and market the money, the water board will approve this loan at their November 18 meeting.
Yeah.
You got Thanksgiving the next week, and then they'll actually sell the bonds the following week, Wednesday, December 3rd. So really, probably about the 18th or so of November, that's when we need to have a decision on how much do we actually need to put into the
We
project.
vote tonight, but we have that much time to decide how much we need to, basically trimming this down.
Okay. And then any modifications, we talked about modifications, but from my understanding, what you said is that we have to have approval from ODEQ before we could do any modifications.
So some of the things like cutting the polymer out wouldn't need that, but if we're going to change some kind of design or something that's more technical, yeah, we would need. But I think I'd lean on Sean, our engineer, to ensure that we're not changing anything that's ODEQ approved through the plan set.
Okay. And I'm I'll also just going to assume that risk mitigation was already placed in the bids. It's not going to come out like if we come in and then all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, we're another 20% over, like this number's.
I think this is it. So we're not looking at anything technical. As far as how the plant runs to treat your wastewater, we're not changing that. That is set. We've picked equipment. The operators are happy with it. The city's happy with it. We're going to move forward with that piece of it. But as far as admixtures in concrete, types of electrical cabinets that we're purchasing, things like that that do not have any impact on the overall wastewater design, we're talking about those right now. We started having that conversation Wednesday of last week already. So,
We're talking about change orders with a 5% contingency.
Yeah, our contingency. let's
yes,
put it-
so we would like to.
This number has 10 and it can go down.
Yes, I would like it to go down.
We hope it goes
Yeah.
down.
Yes, so the number that was read tonight has 10% in it. When I was talking to your financial advisor yesterday afternoon, I believe, we were talking about decreasing that to 5, which is typical in construction. Mike and I, we'd love to carry 10% through this whole thing, but
Is it,
So
the problem-
$33,700,000
Yeah.
that is estimated to kind of fully fund what we have right now. That includes a 5% contingency, 4.8 million, 4.9 million, something like that.
okay.
Costs are not going to go down.
no, they
No
don't
matter
seem
what.
like they are right now.
I mean, even to go in right now to even, like at the bank, when people want to do things like just build a house right now, they're calling back in and saying, I got to have more money, because the costs are going to do nothing but get worse. They're not going to get better. no
Our
matter
hope,
what.
our hope is they go up more slowly.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and keep in mind contingencies are built in for unknowns. In a project like this, we're going to run into some unknowns. We've got to have some money to work with. 'Cause we're not going to be able to come back and get more.
In order to do this, I mean, it's not like we're trying to decide,
Whether to do it or not.
yeah, I mean, we have to do it. We do.
And my question is not if we build it or not, or if we don't accept to build it. My deal is how are we going to pay for it? That's my biggest concern. And who's going to foot that bill? And that's where my concerns lie. I know we got to vote to build this thing. I know we got to vote for the loans. I just want some answers on how we're going to pay for it.
Well, I think
And-
that's for us to figure out.
We'll figure it out.
But
We have to figure
I don't
it
want
out.
to figure it out and it costs our population another $14 a month to do this. I know you said 4, but figuring it out to have a population that's impoverished, where our poverty rates are high here, may not look too bad to you or me, but there's some people in this community that $4 more a month is a big deal. And I hate to say it like that, but it is. And I know not having proper sewer is a big deal too, and water, and I just wish I had that answer already, how it was going to get paid for tonight. It'd make it a whole lot
Figure
easier.
it, we'll have to figure it out.
I think the answer is the worst case scenario, all right, to debt service, this additional amount of money is $4 per month, and basically your sewer bill, you can't, otherwise, if you don't do that, you're taking money out of your transfers to the general fund. If that's, at about $4 a month, you can debt service this additional amount of money.
Thank you, everybody. Next, before we step back, we've got a citizen that would like to speak. Mr. Lowe, if you'd come up and just give us your name, and you'll have 5 minutes.
Ryan Loa, sounds like I may be a little late. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and fellow citizens of Muskogee. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight regarding the proposed funding for the wastewater treatment plant project. We all understand that investing in critical infrastructure like our wastewater system is vital for public health, environmental protection, and the future growth of our city. This project is important. No one disputes that. However, importance does not excuse the need for responsibility. When dealing with tens of millions of taxpayer dollars, it's essential that we make decisions rooted in transparency, competition, and fiscal discipline. At this time, Muskogee has only one bidder for a project that was originally estimated between $70 and $80 million. A project of this magnitude should attract multiple bids, allowing us to ensure the best value for our citizens. Having only one bidder raises legitimate questions. Why did other qualified firms not participate? Were the project specifications too narrow? Was the process rushed or restricted? Before we commit to any contract, these questions deserve clear and public answers. Now we're being asked to approve an additional $37 million loan on top of the original amount. That's not a minor adjustment. It's a substantial increase, and it puts our community further in debt. We need to know what specifically caused these escalating costs and whether alternative funding options, grants, or phased approaches have been explored. We cannot continue to make irresponsible and reckless decisions with taxpayers' money. Every dollar borrowed today is a dollar that Muskogee residents will ultimately have to repay through higher utility bills, higher taxes, or reduced funding for other essential services. These decisions directly affect families, seniors on fixed income, and small businesses that already bear the cost of city spending. We all want progress, but progress must come with accountability. I respectfully urge the council to pause before approving any additional borrowing until these financial concerns are fully addressed. The bidding process is reviewed, and the public can be confident that this project is being managed responsibly. Let's ensure that Muskogee's future is built not just on good intentions, but on good stewardships of the people's money. Ladies and gentlemen, the MO for Muskogee and our leadership is to operate in crisis mode, as we're doing tonight. We just spent tens of thousands of dollars, you guys did, to market a CIP continuance to improve downtown. Add a new gymnasium at the Martin Luther King Center. Spend money on the library. Those are all good things. But here we are just a few weeks later telling the citizens of Muskogee, not only is your water and sewer bill going to go up next year as it was scheduled already, we're going to do it again. And we don't know how long that's going to take. You guys just admitted you don't know how you're going to pay for it, but you'll figure it out. The citizens of Muskogee pay for that. And, you know, I try to remain calm, but this is a serious issue, and at some point, you guys have to lead and be financially responsible, because ultimately the citizens of Muskogee are on the hook. Why didn't we take care of this years ago? We don't maintain anything we have. If we can find the money to spend, if the foundation can pay $10 million to beautify 5 blocks downtown, then we can spend some money, because evidently we're in an emergency here. We flush our toilet, we got to make sure it works. We have $200 million sitting, and you're telling us that we have to borrow another $37 million. You went and got a loan before you even know how much this was going to cost. Now we're asking the citizens to pay for this for who knows how long. And I preached this. Everybody thought I was negative. I preached this when all you guys wanted all this stuff that you wanted, these pet projects on that CIP. I said we need to be focusing on infrastructure only. Road, sewer, water. And here we are again. Guys, it's time to start doing the right thing for these citizens, because eventually they're going to start pushing back. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, do we want to hop back to 4, and are we finished up with it?
We need to.
No.
Mayor, this agenda item is on the table, so we would need to vote about it now, unless someone wants to put it off.
So we need to vote to approve the resolution, correct, Katrina?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, I understand. Thank you.
Mike, can you could speak to any of the bullet points that Mr. Lowe has presented to us about why we only have one bid, and was there anything that we did wrong as far as in the process? I heard you guys say earlier that, there's other ARPA projects, other cities that have, taken these bidders. Is there anything that we could have done differently in this process to attract or anything that we did to deter some of the bidders from not wanting to bid on this project?
So, Deputy Mayor, to answer your question, I feel like we've done our due diligence. I feel like our engineering firm has done theirs. We did have a pre-bid conference. We did have 6 bidders at that meeting. We all left that meeting feeling good, like we were going to get some competitive bids. Unfortunately, the 2 larger companies in the area, I guess, made the other 4 decide not to bid. And then at the last minute, the other large one out of Arkansas decided to drop out, leaving only the Tulsa contractor Crossland to bid on it. I wish we would have got more bids, but I am comfortable knowing that the bid that Crossland presented was adequate. We did have our engineer double check that bid with the local pricing to make sure that that's bid adequately according to other sewer plants being built in the area. And I think Sean can get up and speak to that if you need him to, but he did check that. I think we did do our due diligence on trying to make sure we had the adequate amount of money prior to going out for the loan with Alan and Nate and their financial group. I feel like we had an engineering report that had that amount in it that was appropriate for that day and time. Unfortunately, the inflation got it, and it did go up considerably high. But I feel like everything that we've done our due diligence. I don't like the situation we're in. I hate it. I hate it for staff, and I hate it for the community. But unfortunately, that's the times we're in, and that's what we're going to pay for this plant. I am very confident in talking to one of our local contractors who's heavily involved in this project, who did tell me that if they had to rebid, their price was definitely going to go up. And because that's what things are doing now. They're trending up, and they're trending up quick. So I think if we go back out for another bid, we're going to get a worse bid. I think we're going to get in some timing issues with ODEQ. So I do feel it's appropriate to move forward with this and then discuss how you're going to pay it back. And as Alan and Nate both stated, the worst case scenario is a $4 impact to our citizens, which could be detained as far off as a couple of years. But I do think we've all done our due diligence that have been working on this project, and I will defend that.
And let me say this as well. As far as, you're responsible, we're responsible for the upkeep of the water and sewer plant. It's outdated, but we couldn't, and am I safe in saying that the flood is really what got us to the point where we are tonight?
When half of your plant is underwater, 6 feet underwater for a considerable amount of time, and all the electrical components in it are ruined, and then shortly after that you go through a hard freeze that did almost the same thing to it, that's what damaged our plant. And then when we went to Oklahoma City, the manager, Avery, myself, we all went up to Oklahoma City with our attorneys at the time to defend our position on that consent order because we were trying to get that lessened. Of course, ODEQ didn't care if it was underwater. They wanted up in operation. But we felt like legitimately that's what caused it. It was underwater for a long time, and then the freeze got it. Not to mention it's antiquated and it's aged. It's a 90, that's why I had Avery start out with going through some history for you, telling you how old that plant was. But the age of the plant, the conditions we went through, there's reasons why it's the way it is. And it does need to get rebuilt, and we know that, and so does ODEQ. And we felt like we were on a good path. Unfortunately, these bids just came in too high. And again, I'll defend that. I think we've all done our due diligence, Vice Mayor. And if that answered your question, I hope it did. If not,
it did. It did. It's a tight position that we're all in, and as council people, it's a tight position that we're in tonight. But tonight we have to make a decision that. We have to take some action, and none of us wants to be here, and none of us are saying, and it's not fair that this is appearing to be a move that we're going to do, and then later on down the line raise the water increases on the citizens. That's not fair to this council, future councils to come. Any people that's sitting here today, elected or not elected, would have to make a decision like we happen to make tonight. And none of us wanted to be here, but here we are.
But here we are.
Was it not insured?
Was it insured?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
So it was flooded, is it not insured?
I think the whole question is that it's a drip system, and it was going to have to be changed out either way, because it's out of date.
And the city is self-insured, correct, Katrina?
It depends on what item it is.
So
we don't usually-
most of the components in the technical aspects of it are not. Structures are, but that's not what failed.
Right.
For infrastructure, there would be some type of federal program that stepped in and helped you for natural.
Yes.
There was that kind of went in to get it back to operational, but to change it all out because the drip system's basically antiquated and then that's what got OD&Q involved.
I'll have to jump in real quick. So after that 2019 flood, we did receive FEMA funds, as Mr. Lowe is referencing. But those FEMA funds are not to get you to a point of having a brand-new plant. It's not this, it's not that. It's to replace what you can claim and the minimum of what you can claim. So as we went through those FEMA funds, we did repair the plant to the degree possible with the funding. We got it back running to the best of our ability. ODEQ did not see it that way. They did not see the flood as a disaster that we could mitigate using alternative means of funding. We were limited in our options with what we could do after our negotiations with ODEQ.
Again, I think, going back to you saying you did your due diligence, I think that a lot of components have taken place, right? And so we're looking at this whole final project, but then walking out in steps, you did everything that you could possibly do. I agree with Derek that it is kind of misconstruing to say otherwise, but I get it. And it is a tough brunt to bear, and we're going to have to make this decision tonight, and being fair to our citizens, since it's out here, and it sounds as if we're doing this saying, we're going to raise your rates, we're going to do these things. This was never the intent, and speaking to the CIP and saying those projects should not have been done, those library and all of those people, us as a city, giving to them so that they could receive their grants that they had applied for was also something that we had to look at when we made those decisions. So it was not like we just decided, oh, we're not going to do something else. The library needed us to do what we did as a city for them so that they could continue with grant funding. Our minimal amount that we gave them to their grand project is minimal. And so to say that we did other pet projects, we did not. We helped the library and other entities to get what they needed by giving them a percentage of what they actually needed. So we did not fund our pet projects.
All the while, we were in an emergency and crisis that we knew about.
That we did not know about.
Well,
Here we go.
before we make a motion to vote on this, whatever, I want to reiterate my statement a while ago, and I'm still going to hold the foundation and any of our trust to hold their feet to the fire on this, because this is what that money's meant to do.
Right.
It is, we're in an emergency here, then they need to step up and help us. I mean, that's what that money's for. If you want to talk about projects, this is one of them they need to step up and help us with. They may not like it, but I think what that money was meant to do, is fix these problems. And if these people think that those boards and stuff say, well, that's not what we're going to do with it, then that's wrong. Because this is what our citizens and everything look at, and they keep telling us, well, there's going to be an emergency or something. Well, this is an emergency. Those foundations, those trusts, need to give us that money to help pay for this. I will vote yes for this tonight, but at the end of the day, those foundations need to give us some money. Whether it's the medical one or the Muskogee Foundation, or combine it both, they need to help us with this bill for our citizens. And that way we don't have to worry about the $4 or the $14, the $7. We don't need to nickel and dime our citizens anymore. We've got the money, they need to step up and help us pay for it.
Mr. Hall, I'm inclined to agree with your train of thought. I know that I'll do all I can do with you to see that we can head that direction. I want to remind this council tonight, I didn't know it was going to go this way, or things you never know, but, and the audience, this council tries to do their very best to do what's right for the citizens of Muskogee. And I'm proud of the council, and just remind everybody that statement. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve item number 6.
I'll second.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley,
Yes.
Tom Martindale,
Yes.
Dan Hall, Melody Cranford,
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous,
No.
Jamie Stout,
No.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed,
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes. Motion passes. Now, do we need to go back to 4?
Yes, sir, Mayor, if we can go back to items 4 and 5, please.
Okay.
Item 4 has been read.
Did you have any other comments on item relating to item 4?
No.
And I don't think there was any action to be taken, or?
We do need to either, to authorize the chairman of the Muskogee Municipal Authority to execute the professional services agreement with MFSOK in the Muskogee Municipal Authority.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
And we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley,
Yes.
Tom Martindale,
Yes.
Dan Hall,
Yes.
Melody Cranford,
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous,
No.
Jamie Stout,
No.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed,
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, the motion passes. Item number 5, please.
Consider approval to authorize the chairman to execute an agreement for bond counsel services between the Muskogee Municipal Authority, a public trust, and the Public Finance Law Group, PLLC, for services related to the Series 2025 promissory note to the Oklahoma Water Resources Board for a loan or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart.
So, again, this is Nate and Allen, it's to approve the agreement with them, and we'd recommend approval.
Move for approval.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley,
Yes.
Tom Martindale,
Yes.
Dan Hall,
Yes.
Melody Cranford,
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous,
No.
Jamie Stout,
No.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed,
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, item passes. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
We got a long way to go.
Yes.
Long way to go. 2 more agendas.
Oh, my gosh. Deputy, can you handle these?
Hey, man, you gotta stick it out with me. You gotta stick it out with me.
Next, we'll have the Muskogee Redevelopment Authority, October 27th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patrick Kell,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout, Tracy Hous,
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Here.
Melody Cranford,
Here.
Dan Hall,
Here.
Tom Martindale,
Here.
Mike Brawley.
Here.
Okay, we're going to strike item number 1. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval of Muskogee Redevelopment Authority claims for the period of June 14, 2025 through October 17, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bodenhammer, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The claims for the Muskogee Redevelopment Authority from June through October 2025 are attached if anyone has any questions.
I make a motion for approval.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout. Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, item passes.
Okay, we're now going to call to order the Muskogee City Council, October 27th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patrick Hale.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Tracy Hous.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
Melody Cranford.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Here.
Tom Martindale.
Here.
Mike Brawley.
Here.
Okay, approval of minutes.
Move for approval.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second on the minutes. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Hale.
Yes, item passes. Consent agenda has items number 1 through 7. Does anybody want to revisit any of those items?
Motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall. Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Hale.
Yes, item passes. Okay, going to the regular agenda. Item 8, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of the preliminary plat for Racetrack Hancock Street subdivision located at 2300 South 32nd Street, consisting of 18.205 acres, or take other necessary action.
Okay, we will now open a public hearing. Mr. Brent Roberts.
Good evening, council, and good evening, mayor and deputy mayor. The application was submitted by Racetrack Incorporated and indicated the property is being platted in preparation for a new gas station to be placed on the property. The preliminary plat went to subdivision review committee on September 17th, 2025, and was approved. In addition, the planning commission also reviewed the preliminary plat in the 10/7/25 meeting and recommended approval to city council. The preliminary plat complies with the requirements of the subdivision regulations, and our recommendations is approval of the preliminary plat.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have to close the hearing.
Yeah, we'll now close the public hearing. And no discussion, I guess.
Thank you, Councilor Stouts. Move for approval.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Hale.
Yes. Thank you. Item number 9, please. Item passes. Number 9, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of Resolution Number 3053, Future Land Use Amendment for the property located at 2300 South 32nd Street, City of Muskogee, or take other necessary action.
Okay, we will now open the public hearing. Mr. Roberts again?
Yes, sir. The applicant has requested a rezone of the property located at 2300 South 32nd Street from I-1 Light Industrial to C2 General Commercial. The proposed use of the property will be for a new gas station to replace the existing gas station and car wash. The request does not currently conform to the Muskogee Comprehensive Plan and Future Land Use Plan, which is why we also requested the land use map amendment.
Okay, it looks like no others have signed up. We will now close the public hearing.
Move for approval.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Hale.
Yes. Item passes. Number 10, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 4276A, a request to rezone the property located at 2300 South 32nd Street, City of Muskogee, from I-1 Light Industrial to C2 General Commercial, and if approved, authorize staff to update the official zoning map of the city or take other necessary action.
Mr. Robert, we're going to now open a public hearing. Mr. Roberts.
Yes, sir. So the applicant has requested a rezone of the property located at 2300 South 32nd Street from I-1 Light Industrial to C2 General Commercial. Staff recommendations is we recommend to approve the ordinance of 4276-A as a rezone request.
Okay, with no one signed up to speak, we will now close the public hearing.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hous?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed?
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell?
Yes, item passes. Number 11, please.
Consider approval of Resolution Number 3056, giving notice to the Secretary of the Muskogee County Election Board and calling a city general election for Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, and a runoff election in the event respective candidates for the offices of mayor and council members do not receive a majority vote, with said runoff election to be held on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, establishing filing, withdrawal, and contest period, closing the 45th and 61st voting precincts, and establishing all the same pursuant to the Charter of the City of Muskogee and the revised state election laws, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bodenhammer?
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution number 3056 is the official document required to give notice to the Secretary of the Muskogee County Election Board and to call for a general election. This is for City Council, Ward 1, we have a 2-year unexpired term and a 4-year term. Ward 2, we have a 4-year term that will be open. In Ward 3, we have a 4-year term. Ward 4, we have a 4-year term. And for mayor, we have a 2-year term. This election is going to be scheduled for February the 10th, 2026, with a runoff April 14th of 2026. I would like to point out that each one of our dates, as far as filing notice, candidacy contest and withdrawals has been extended by 1 day, past what the charter calls for due to Veterans Day holiday on Tuesday, November the 11th. And happy to answer any questions. Oh, I'm sorry, also it's closing precincts 45 and 61 because we have no registered voters in those precincts.
What was that date you said would do to Veterans Day?
Due to Veterans Day, normally we have our candidates can file on Monday, November.
It's the 10th through the 13th is normally, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have a Tuesday holiday, so we have extended everything by 1 day.
To Thursday.
Okay. So what are those dates?
The 10th, the 12th, and the 13th are the filing period, 8 to 5, in the office of the city clerk.
And we should go to the 14th, don't we?
14th withdrawal.
Yes, in the attached resolution, it also sets out all the hours and the dates. And then candidacy withdrawal has to be done by Monday, November 17th by 5 p.m., which is also extended 1 day due to the Veterans holiday. Any contest against the candidates has been extended to November 18th at 5 p.m. And again, that's 1 day extension past what the charter calls for due to the Veterans Day holiday.
Okay,
Move for approval.
thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hous?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed?
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell?
Yes, item passes. Number 12, please.
Consider approval of Resolution Number 3062, a resolution of the City of Muskogee, Oklahoma, approving action taken by the Muskogee Municipal Authority, authorizing issuance, sale, and delivery of a promissory note of the authority to the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, ratifying and confirming a lease agreement and operation and maintenance contract as amended by and between the city and the authority pertaining to the leasing of the City of Muskogee water and sanitary sewer systems to the authority, ratifying and confirming a sales tax agreement pertaining to certain sales tax revenue as security for the note, and containing other provisions related thereto, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is the same as item 6 in the Muskogee Municipal Authority meeting. We can go back through it, or staff does recommend approval. It's council's decision.
Good
Move
enough,
for
thank you.
approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
Tracy Hous?
No.
Jamie Stout?
No.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, item passes. Number 13, please.
Consider approval of Resolution Number 3059, a resolution in support of incorporating the Muskogee Industrial Park into Port Muskogee South, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bodenhammer.
Thank you. This is an item that's being put on behalf of the Port of Muskogee. They would like to, instead of having so many different separate names for separate areas, they would like to incorporate parts of the park under one name, which is Port Muskogee South. It's simply branding on their part for advertising and to have a unified industrial park area. It doesn't change anything as far as zoning, fees, or any rules or regulations. It's like a Cracker Barrel changed their name or changed their logo. It's the same type of thing. It's a name change for branding purposes.
That didn't go over well for Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, this will go over better.
Okay.
Not a good example.
This will go, yeah, this will go over better.
That was my favorite example to give.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, motion passes. Number 14, please.
Consider approval of resolution number 3058 and a citizens participation plan for the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery 2022 grant relating to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Program, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart?
Yeah, this is a item that I take a little bit of pleasure in presenting to you tonight. It's a block grant, community development block grant, disaster recovery. And what this particular one here is going to do is address the flooding in the meadows. And this is going to help us hire an engineer to design a plan to come up with a solution to it. Now, this is not to actually do the engineering work or any contracting, but to develop and design an engineered plan to come up with a solution for the flooding in the meadows. And to get to there, we have to adopt their citizens participation plan. This is an Oklahoma Department of Commerce plan that we just pretty much copied, so I do recommend approval. And before that, I would really like to thank Katrina, our city attorney, for her assistance on these next 4 items, because she basically did them while she was going down the road with me. So thank you very much. But do recommend approval.
I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, item passes. Number 15, please.
Consider approval of resolution number 3060 to submit an application to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce for the CDBG DR 2022 grant, a grant for the disaster recovery from the May 2022 flooding for a voluntary housing buyout project addressing properties in the Meadows subdivision, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart?
So this is to actually buy some houses out in the meadows. They've got two, in this grant, they've got, there are two separate funds. One of them is for up to $600,000, which is what we're going to apply for the engineering portion of this. And the other, they've got $3.4 million to do actual housing buyouts. This is a voluntary program, and all we're asking for tonight is the approval to submit the application so that we can get in line for it. Then we'll have to do some legwork to see what we can do to get some of the houses that flooded in that 2020 flood. This is up to $3.4 million, and we'll do our due diligence to try and get that taken care of, but I do recommend approval. I'll answer any questions.
Move
How
for
long has these
approval.
houses been annexed? When do we annex this?
So, Councilor Hall, I think it goes back to '86, but I'm not sure. That, for some reason, that date
That sounds about right.
seems about right. I know it has been quite some time, and hopefully we can get something going to approve these last 24 houses that flooded out there to get them out of the floodway.
That'd be great.
Did we know it flooded before they annexed all that in?
So you're going back to '86 to ask me a question I really don't remember.
You were here then, Mike.
I was here, believe it or not, but I wasn't. But I don't know that it actually flooded back then, but I do know that
I
it
think
was
it
built in
did.
the
I
county.
was doing loans back then. Yes, it did.
I'm sure Mike fought against the annexation.
If I could, I would have.
We had a motion and approval.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hous?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed?
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell?
Yes, item passes. Number 16.
Consider approval to adopt a citizen participation plan for the city's application to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce for the CDBG DR 2022 grant, a grant for disaster recovery from the May 2022 flood for a planning project for a subdivision drainage plan for the Meadows subdivision, or take other necessary action.
So this goes with the item that we just approved previously. I will tell you that this grant is for up to $600,000. And one of the best things about it is it's a no-match grant, so we don't have to come up with match money. Although it does make our application look better if we do kick money into it. And I did talk with the manager and with Dennis Reed, our treasurer, and they both said that we do have some CBDG funding available, whereas we could probably put $10,000 toward each one of these applications, which will give us some points on our application, which makes it look better.
Okay.
Move for
Recommend
approval.
I move for approval.
We need a second.
Second.
Oh, second. I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
I did.
Thank you. Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hous?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed?
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell?
Yes, item passes. Number 17, please.
Consider approval to adopt a citizen participation plan for the city's application to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce for the CDBG DR 2022 grant, a grant for disaster recovery from the May 2022 flood for a voluntary housing buyout project addressing properties in the Meadows subdivision, or take other necessary action.
So, Mayor and Council, again, this is just still more of the Meadows deal. This is actually approving for the application to start the process for the housing buyout. That is voluntary. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. So if anybody's asked, they don't have to give their houses up. This is voluntary. And I don't know all the rest of the parameters around that, then we will get to those as we do the application process, and we'll inform council better. But really think this is a good project.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hous?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed?
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell?
Yes, item passes. Number 18, please.
Consider approval to authorize the mayor to execute a corrective deed for the property located in Muskogee Original Town Site South 50, Lot 1, Block 405, to the record owners to clear title due to a clerical error in the Muskogee County land records, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bodenhammer.
Thank you, Mayor. This circumstance was, there are times that the city can go ahead and request that property in the city be deeded over to us from the Muskogee County Assessor's Office. For instance, if it doesn't sell at tax resale, or there's some other kind of circumstance, we issue a letter to the Muskogee County Assessor saying, will you please deed this property to us? And that's one of the ways that we acquire property. There's no cost to us. They recently hired a new person to go through and research all the deeds that have been done, and they found out that the deed that was issued to the city in 2015 was not thoroughly researched on that property, so there was another deed that conveyed that property prior to them conveying it to the city. So we are actually cladding the title of the legal owners, which are Abel and Marcela Diaz. They own that property. They have owned that property. Muskogee County Assessor's Office found that missing deed that was not researched before, sent us a letter and asked us to please deed them back to the record owners, because they should have never transferred the property to the city.
Right.
And we may have more of these coming up as they research the land record and all the transactions.
Okay. I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley?
Yes.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, item passes. Number 19, please.
Consider approval for the Muskogee Police Department to accept the Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act grant from the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services in the amount of $200,000 or take other necessary action.
Chief Teehee.
Mayor and council, this is pretty exciting for the police department. It allows us, it's a 2-year grant, $100,000 a year to allow us to continue with our peer support as well as health and mental health and wellness programs with the police and fire.
Fantastic. Any questions?
Move for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Thank you, Chief.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, item passes. Number 20, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Cody Moore to the Planning and Zoning Commission to serve a 3-year term, filling the expiring term of Delby Walker beginning October 1, 2025, and ending on September 30, 2028, or take other necessary action.
Councilor Brawley.
Yes, this is my appointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Moore has been active in city goings-on, so to speak, and wants to become more and more active with us and with the city, learn all what goes on here, so I recommend his appointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second that, he'll be a great asset to our community.
Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall. Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton.
Yes.
Excuse me, Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes, good choice, Mr. Brawley. Item passes. Number 21.
Consider an executive session to discuss and take possible action on the following. A, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters, Local Number 57, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall. Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous. Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Yes. Item passes. We're now in executive session. Okay, we're now in regular session. Roll call, please. Let's return.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout. Here. Tracy Hous.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
Melody Cranford.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Present.
Tom Martindale.
Here.
Mike Brawley.
Here.
Ms. Bodenhammer, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 21A, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to discuss negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters, Local Number 57. An appropriate motion would be to approve the negotiated agreement as discussed in executive session.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mike Brawley.
Yes.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Patrick Kell.
We are now adjourned.
Y'all.